Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Financial News, and I'm Ron Jankowski with Channel 4, and my co-host is Paul Municle, as you probably already know, from Ameriprise Financial. Paul's going to give us an update as to what took place in the marketplace, and I'm going to share with you information we got from Ameriprise as of this morning, and we're going to let Paul take it away.
Thanks, Ron. I'm going to start today's show by just recapping kind of what happened right after Thanksgiving break, which is now. So, lawmakers in Washington, they're returning from their Thanksgiving break this week. Now, Democrats in the Senate will continue working on their Build Back Better legislation. Now, the bill already passed the House just before the Thanksgiving recess. But given some notable differences within Senate Democrats, the Wall Street Journal has said insiders hope to have a final agreement on the legislation before Christmas. Any agreement would require all 50 Democrat caucusing senators to agree on the entire package. However, there are other key issues that have specific dates quickly approaching. The government budget. Currently, funding ends Friday, December 3rd. A continuing resolution has kept, quote unquote, the lights on in Washington over the last several weeks since the prior fiscal year ended on September 30th. That resolution ends after Friday, December 3rd. Now, the Journal reports that some Democrats would like to see another short-term funding resolution, which essentially maintains spending at current levels. They want that passed, while Republicans prefer a bill that would fund government operations into 2022. The debt ceiling. Now, administration estimates ceiling to be reached on December 15th. The national debt ceiling also needs to be addressed. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has said the government could run out of resources to meet the nation's obligations as soon as December 15th. Now, it's unclear if that estimate includes the normal maneuvering room offered via the extraordinary measures that in the past have added months to the deadline. But even if there is some room left via those measures, it's widely believed that those added resources would be significantly shorter in the least. Also, we want to look at the 2021 congressional calendar as both houses of Congress set to conclude their sessions on December 10th. But those dates can be adjusted by leadership in both houses and likely will be this year. So some things we've got to look at with the government, how it's going to affect. We've got that December 3rd deadline, the one on the 15th I mentioned. So we'll be watching now that they're back to work after the holiday, how these things transpire.
Okay, and Paul, I want to mention our reports are as of today's date, November 29th, 2021. The information that we received this morning, U.S. stock futures are rebounding after Friday's 2.3 loss for the S&P 500 amid uncertainty over the new Omicron variant. And Paul, how does that impact the stock market?
Well, Friday it impacted it negatively. As you mentioned, that was a pretty big drop in the market in one day. And today's, at least pre-market bounce, is just a recovery from that. We don't know if that'll even hold today. Just like any COVID concern we've had, when it was COVID initially, when it was the Delta variant, and now I guess whatever they're going to call this one, the Omicron variant, it scares the markets because what could happen, we don't know. Is it another shutdown? Is it another delay in travel? Can you go to restaurants? All that stuff is in question again.
Yes.
And as we've stated in the years we've been doing our shows, the market hates the unknowns.
Yeah.
And that's what we're kind of getting into again.
Europe is trading higher midday while markets in Asia finished lower. Any comment on that, Paul?
It's a good sign that Europe is at least holding positive. That may be some indication of what we'll do, but if Asia traded down, we could follow their form. Basically what I'm saying is pre-market, it's a guess. We don't know what to expect today.
The U.S. Treasury yields are back above 1.54%. 0.4% for the 10-year. Gold is a plus 0.4%, and WTI crude is a plus 5% after a 12% drop last week. And that 12% drop did help the gas prices in some pumps.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I don't know how quickly when they lower oil, it lowers the price of gas, but it sure seems coincidental that the prices did go down at the pump
Yeah,
a
a
little.
little. But
So-
it's on its way up again, so who knows, this supply and demand is...
Seems
you
like just
can't-
a blip in the road,
Yep.
to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
And this week, investors will focus on European inflation data, PMI from China, and non-farm payrolls in the U.S., and that's Friday.
Same things we're looking at here. We're always watching our inflation numbers. They're watching them over there.
Well, thank you, Paul, for that information, and I'm going to give you the year-to-date percentage returns. Dow Jones is a 15% plus, S&P 500 a plus 23%, and the NASDAQ is a plus 20%. Still solid.
Still solid despite Friday's sell-off. Those are still staggering numbers as we've been reporting every week all year. The market has been performing solidly this year, and with a couple of weeks left in the year, hopefully it holds through the end of the year.
Well, again, thanks, Paul, and stay with us. We will be right back with our show called Your Money. Paul usually has a very interesting topic. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. We're back with our show called Your Money. The topic today is returning to school as an adult. Paul, give us more information about that.
Yeah, so anyone returning to school, we have to figure out how we're going to fund that tuition. And, you know, there's millions of Americans in the workforce, and they are heading back to school to further their education. Now, according to the National Center for Education statistics, college students over the age of 25 are projected to increase by 11% over the years leading into 2026. Now, these adult learners are enrolling for a variety of reasons. You know, they could be enrolling to train for a new career. They could be satisfying an urge to expand their knowledge base, or maybe they're trying to get that MBA or master's degree to improve their growth in their current job. If you decide additional education is the right option for you, be aware that tuition costs are on the rise. And the question is, how will you pay for it? So today we're going to go over some options to consider. Number one, your savings. Consider what savings you may have available to put toward tuition. If your return to school is still a semester or two away, start setting aside specific savings you can use for this purpose. Be sure to account for the cost of books, technology, and other fees your school of choice may require, and also potentially resist the urge to tap into your retirement accounts. While it may be tempting, you have other sources of funds to pay for school that are not available to pay for your retirement. Maybe take a look at 529 plans. Remember, that's a tax-advantaged 529 college savings plan. It's typically used as a savings vehicle for further education needs of children or grandchildren. But you can also establish a 529 for your own education or tap unused assets you establish in a child's account for your own expenses. Look into tuition reimbursement. Returning to school is particularly attractive if your employer offers a tuition reimbursement program. So in practical terms, this means you could further your education and potentially improve your job and career prospects at a reduced cost to you. Important caveats may be tied to the reimbursement, such as only covering tuition for coursework in an area relevant to your current role, or requiring you to remain with your employer for a period of time after completing your education. You always want to check with your Human Resources Department to see what benefits are available to you. You could look into grants and scholarships. There's no age limit to qualify for federal financial aid. Financial need dictates the ability to qualify for grants at the federal level, which may limit your opportunities. However, you may be able to find scholarships from other sources that apply specifically for older students. Your school's financial aid office may be a helpful resource. Another option is loans. Adult students are eligible to take out traditional student loans. If you do, be thoughtful about the amount you borrow and diligent about repaying them quickly after graduation. You may be able to deduct a portion of the student loan interest from your gross income, subject to certain limitations. Something else to consider are tax credits. There may be opportunities to reduce your tax bill if you qualify for education-related tax credits. So let's look at it as an example. The Lifetime Learning Credit is a tax credit up to $2,000 per tax return for qualifying higher education expenses. Now, there are income limits that do apply to that. Which option or combination of options is right for you? Who knows? That's all things you have to weigh. Enrolling as a full-time student means higher upfront costs and a bigger time commitment. Yet, it could result in a degree or certification faster, which may be ideal if you are eligible for a higher paying position afterward, or if you are funding your schooling through scholarships and loans. If you choose to complete a class at a time, your education is going to take longer. Financially, though, this could allow you to absorb tuition and fees into your regular budget or pull the funds from a 529 account that is earning investment income in the meantime. Additionally, doing so may maximize your tax credit and reimbursement options. No matter how you fund higher education, consider how the cost fits within your overall financial strategy. A good place to start is to sit down with a financial advisor and a tax advisor to discuss how you can prioritize school amid your other financial goals. And again, I just mentioned it, but meeting with a tax advisor or financial advisor may be one of your better resources to tap into when figuring out how you're going to pay something, weighing the benefits versus the costs, and figuring that all out.
If a viewer is interested in talking to you as a financial advisor, do you have a number to share?
Absolutely. You can call me directly in my office in Orland Park at 708-226-3412.
That was a good topic, Paul. The timing is right for everyone to consider this, and if you're going to do something about it, do it soon.
And you'd be surprised how many adults are going back to school.
No.
It comes up more and more in my day-to-day activities, and this is real. And if you're thinking about it at home, you're not the only one. So you do have resources, your tax advisor, your financial advisor. Reach out to them and see what makes sense.
Very good. Paul, thank you again. For Paul Munichel with Ameriprise Financial and myself, Ron Jankowski with Channel 4 and Palos Heights, we wish you good investment day.